I'm really excited to have our first beautiful woman of God to come out here and share with you guys. Mrs. Cotter and I have been friends since high school. We actually worked it's called Camp Tekawitha, Camp Kateri Tekawitha. Yeah? We worked a Catholic extreme camp together right before college, and so we've been friends for like 15 years. And she is just a beautiful woman of God, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to hang out with her this morning. So give it up for Miss Lisa Cotter, Mrs. Lisa Cotter.
Lord, thank you for today, for this conference, for the amazing women who are in this audience. Please be with us as we spend some time together, Lord. Open the heart of each woman here to hear whatever message you have for her. I pray that she has the grace to receive that message, to take it and internalize it, and grow closer to you. I thank you for the courage of each of these women, for their time, for coming here, for diving deeper into their faith, Lord. Bless them immensely for that. We entrust this morning to you and to our mother as we say, Hail Mary. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. You know, in our world today, we value ancient things. Things that are hundreds or thousands of years old are fascinating to us. We can think about the redwoods on the West Coast. Some of those trees have been around for 2,000 years. It's incredible to think that there's something growing today that was growing at the time when Jesus was born. That's crazy. Or we can think about how we have so many museums in our world. We store up these treasures, these artifacts, these articles, these works of art, so we can come and see them and be amazed at these ancient things. Imagine if your dream in life was to go see the Mona Lisa. So you got on a plane and you flew to France and you landed in Paris and you navigated your way around the crazy city until you got to the Louvre, which is where the Mona Lisa is housed. And so you entered into the glass pyramid, you went down, you got your ticket, you started wandering through trying to make your way to the room where the Mona Lisa is. And of course, you had to get lost 5 times like you do here at the Gaylord because it's enormous. So you finally find the room and you walk in and there she is in the middle of the room. And there's like 100 people all there just looking at her. It's like a random Tuesday. So you're in the back and you wait for the mob to kind of slowly move forward to get to the front of the railing. And you're standing there at the railing and you're looking into her eyes and you're thinking, wow, they really do follow you. That's kind of creepy. And you're looking at her smile and you're thinking, is she smiling or is she not? And out of the corner of your eye, something catches your attention. Some crazy guy has just jumped the railing and he's running towards the Mona Lisa with a hammer, and he takes a hammer, he smashes the glass, he pulls out a Sharpie and he starts drawing all over her face, and everyone's like, what is going on? People are panicking and freaking out. They don't know it's just a guy with a Sharpie, right? And everybody's like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to the Mona Lisa? What did she ever do to you? She's a painting. Like, this is our Mona Lisa. How could you destroy this valuable thing? The guards take him down and you're like pulling out your camera like everybody else because you got to get a picture of this, because you got to be that person who was there when the Mona Lisa got attacked. It's all over Facebook, Twitter, social media is taking it, the news is covering it, and everybody's just going, what? Why would you do that? Why would you destroy this valuable painting, this worthy thing? And the whole world is just kind of in shock and disappointed in this person. Well, you know what, ladies? You are not valuable like the Mona Lisa. You are not ancient like the redwoods. You haven't been living for 2,000 years. You're actually something much more. You are not ancient. You are eternal. You see, the redwoods and the Mona Lisa, all of those things one day will turn to dust. But housed inside of you is an immortal soul that will live forever. C.S. Lewis once said this: There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. Nations, cultures, arts, civilizations, these are mortal. And their life is to ours as the life of a gnat. But it is immortals who we joke with, work with, marry, snub, and exploit. If we believe this to be true, then how we treat others and how we relate to others matters. You see, the eternal soul sitting next to you is more valuable and has more worth than all the things that we store up in our museums. You are more fascinating and more complex than the redwoods. Because we are not just ancient things, we are eternal souls. I want to share with you today 3 mentalities that you can live by that will help you treat others like the valuable, fascinating souls that they are. And if you can live by these mentalities, I can guarantee you that you're going to experience a depth in your relationships that you never thought possible. And it all hinges on this: living with understanding that people are not things. People are souls. So mentality number 1, people are not things, people are souls. So will the good of others. This phrase comes from St. Thomas Aquinas. He says, to love is to will the good of another. And our church likes it so much that we put it in our catechism. It's paragraph 1766. The catechism is just a big book that explains what we believe and why we believe it. To love is to will the good of another. That's a picture of me and my daughter Grace there. And she's 14 months old. And I put that picture up because as her mother, I have to will her good all the time. Like yesterday at Mass, when I was walking her around because she's like, why are we still in this big garage? She didn't understand what's going on. So I took her to the side, and it was during the consecration, and I was kneeling, and I closed my eyes for a moment during the consecration when they're raising up the host, and I opened up my eyes, and she has dumped, I don't know how she did this, her sippy cup water everywhere, and she's like splashing in it, and she's having so much fun. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's consecration, so I'm like, I gotta get up. Probably some of you were watching me and wondering what I was doing. So we got up, we had to walk out to the bathroom, get towels, come back, soak it up. I put a chair over it because I was picturing people going to get communion and wiping out and breaking their leg, and I'm like, that's a way to do it. So in that moment, I didn't have warm fuzzies for Grace. That wasn't the emotion that was going on, right? My love for her had to be an act of the will. We talk about how we have free will. That means we have the freedom to choose. So when we say we're gonna will the good of another, we're gonna choose the good of another. We want what's best for them. Not only do we want it, but our actions reflect that. The things that we do and the way that we act is directed towards that person's good. That's what it means to will the good of another. When I was in college, my sophomore year, my friend approached me and she said, can you go on a walk with me? I'd like to go on a walk. I want to talk with you about something. I was like, oh, okay, sure. You know, you might know this friend. Her name's Sarah Swafford, the cute woman who's pregnant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sarah approached me sophomore year. This is an absolutely true story, and I told her I was going to tell it, so she's not going to come out and be like, wow, that was great. So she asked me to go on this walk. So we're going on this walk, and she says, you know, Lisa, I really value you as a friend, and I really feel like God really blessed us in giving us each other. But there's something going on in our lives and in our friendship that it's really hard for me, and I wanted to bring it to you. It's like, okay, I'm all ears. What's going on? She says, you know, Lisa, I really feel like oftentimes you're really competing with me, and like you're trying to show me in the things that you're saying or the things that you're doing, like that you're better than me in some ways, and I feel like you're always like trying to one-up me on certain things, and I wanted to put that out there. And she was saying it with such love, and here's what was going on in my mind. I was like, I don't think I do that. No, I don't think I do that. And I came up with all these excuses as to why I didn't do it. And the look on her face said it all. I saw it for a minute. I'm sure she didn't intend to do this, but she was like, what? Like, are you delusional? Like, you really think you're not doing this? And at the time, I don't know, I wasn't ready to admit it. I wasn't mature enough to understand what was going on. But looking back on it, like, she was absolutely right. I was competing with her all the time. And it was preventing us from being true and authentic friends. See, I wasn't willing Sarah's good. I didn't really truly want what was best for her, and my actions weren't reflecting that. In my hyper-competitiveness, I often saw her as a threat. I would compare myself to her and think, she's cuter than me, she's more fun than me, she's more popular, she's just better. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that about her. See, as women, we do that all the time, don't we? We compete and we compare ourselves to each other. We dress up for each other. That's no secret, right? That's not a secret anymore. We know when we get dressed up, it's for each other. Yeah, these are curls for the girls right here, okay? I would have to shave my head for a guy to notice that something was different about my hair. They just don't work that way, right? Okay, hashtag great hair. There's a tip for you. We just constantly compare ourselves to each other. We size ourselves up against each other, and we see each other as threats. And we get jealous of each other when another girl has what we want, or when we think that another girl is succeeding in ways that we're failing. But when we do this, we lose. We let our pride get in the way. We stop wanting what's best for others and willing the good of others, and we lose. And for a long time, I lost out on what could have been an even greater friendship with Sarah. I really wasn't truly wanting what was best for her. And fortunately, in God's time, I was able to recognize what it was that she was talking about. And I began to realize that my actions weren't just affecting our friendship, but other friendships that I had with women. And they was affecting me as a person. I didn't like being jealous of her, always feeling like I had to prove how great I was. So I had to come to terms with what I was doing. And I had to consciously decide to stop competing and stop comparing myself and focus on who it was that God was calling me to be. Last year, I went and saw a movie in the theater, which is kind of a big deal for me because I rarely do that. But I'd heard that this movie was really inspiring. And so I really wanted to see it on the big screen. So I got my ticket, sat down at the theater, and started watching this movie. Now, in the movie, our hero, his name is Emmett. He's a Lego minifigure. And Emmett in this movie is having a hard time because he's supposed to be the special. And he's not feeling very special because all these master builders are around and they can build really cool stuff, and all he's got is a double-decker couch. And so Vitruvius, the wizard, comes along, and Vitruvius is trying to encourage him. And he says to Emmett these things that are supposed to help him recognize that, like, this is his job. He's a special. He can do it. And Emmett says, but how could I just decide to believe that I'm special when I'm not? And Vitruvius says, because the world depends on it. The world depends on it, ladies. The world needs you to be you. God has a specific plan for you and a specific mission that only you can fulfill. And God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't make junk. And so what's important to recognize is that who you are is enough. You're enough. I know that sounds like a cat poster. That was a big delay there. Can you see the slide now? You're enough. You are enough. You know, it was amazing. This phrase has been coming to me in prayer a lot lately because these are things I still struggle with, right? Like, and God has just been saying to me, Lisa, you're enough. Like, who you are is enough. And when I was walking in today, the Lecrae song was playing. God is enough, you are enough. And I was like, yes! I'm good. I'm ready for this talk. Like, God was telling me, you're enough. Just wanted to remind you, like, God speaks to us in the craziest way sometimes, doesn't he? But you, ladies, you're enough. Who you are is enough. And that can be really hard to believe sometimes. But God knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants from you, and he wants you to be you. So Jessica, you're enough. Brittany, you're enough. Ashley, you're enough. Each one of you ladies, who you are is enough. God needs you to be you, and the world depends on it. So who do you need to stop competing with? Who do you need to stop comparing yourself to? Who do you need to start wanting what's best for? Who do you need to start willing the good of? Because we all have those people in our lives, and it's not easy. So I want to get real practical with you for a moment here. If you want to grow in these things, not being jealous of people, not competing with each other, truly being happy for others and desiring to will their good, what I want you to do is every day I want you to compliment somebody. Great job on your presentation in class today. I love your new haircut. You look fabulous. Thank you for being such a great friend to me. I'm really lucky to have you in my life. Because when you do this, when you can compliment somebody, you can find the good in them. And when you can find the good in somebody, it's a lot easier to will the good of somebody. And when you can will the good of somebody, you're not gonna see them as a threat. You're not gonna see them as a thing. You're gonna start to see them as an eternal soul. So mentality number one, people are not things, people are souls. So will the good of others. Mentality number two, people are not things, people are souls. So refuse to use. People are not things, people are souls, so refuse to use. St. John Paul II once said that a person's rightful due is to be treated as an object of love, not as an object for use. And I think we know that instinctually, right? Like, yeah, we shouldn't use people. Like, we're not like toys that can just be used and then tossed aside. You don't do that to people. But if we examine our lives, we can often see times where we fail at this. When I was in high school, I dated a guy named Jack. And about 6 weeks into our relationship, it was Valentine's Day, which is always kind of an awkward day. And apparently, I didn't really give Jack what he wanted for Valentine's Day because 2 days after, he came to my house and he said, Lisa, I feel like we're in a rut and this relationship isn't going anywhere. Let me translate that for you. What Jack was saying, and I know this is a fact, even though he didn't use these words, you won't sleep with me, so there's really nothing left for me in this relationship. So we broke up. And my friends, when they heard about this, they were like, yeah, duh. Like, Jack's such a player. What were you doing with him anyway? I'm like, what? Where were you? Why didn't you tell me this? And they were like, we did. You just didn't listen. It's like, oh, yeah. Because let me tell you what I knew about Jack before we started dating. What I knew about Jack is that, he went to a different school. And I knew that he had dated some really popular girls in my school. So to be counted among them made me feel really important. And what I knew about myself when I first started dating Jack was that I liked having a boyfriend. I liked having a guy in my life because it made me feel special. And it filled up a void that was there. See, if I didn't have a boyfriend, there's always this void in my heart. So Jack's plan was to use me physically, but my plan was to use Jack emotionally. Because for me, he was basically an ego-boosting void filler. No matter how wonderful and holy a guy can be, and believe me, I'm married to a very holy husband, and I love him deeply, but a guy can never be your savior. Until Jesus can find a proper place in your heart, it's gonna be really hard for you to find the proper place for all of the other people in your life. And your past has shaped who you are today, but it does not need to define who you will be for the rest of your life. Our God is bigger than anything you have done, ladies. He's bigger than anything that has been done to you.